Hello and welcome to the Codex video for episode 3 of Dragon Age Origins. So first we will read about these creatures that we've discovered in this video. First we'll talk about the Shade, which was Gazarath, that kind of ghostly looking creature. It has often been suggested that the only way for a demon to affect the world of the living is by possessing a living or once living body. But this is not always true. Indeed, a Shade is one such creature, a demon in its true form that has adapted to affect the world around it. My hypothesis is this: we already know that many demons become confused when they pass through the veil into our world. They are unable to tell the living from the dead, the very static nature of our universe being confusing to a creature that is accustomed to a physically defined entirely by emotion and memory, a physicality defined entirely by emotion and memory. Most demons seek to immediately seize upon anything they perceive as life, jealously attempting to possess it. But what of those that do not? What of those that encounter no life or fail to possess a body? What of those that are more cautious by their nature? These demons watch, they lurk, they envy. In time, such a demon will learn to drain energy from the psyche of those it encounters, such as it did in the Fade. Once it has drained enough, it has the power to manifest and will forever be known as a Shade. Such a creature spurns possession. It instead floats as a shadow across its piece of land, preying upon the psyche of any who cross its path. Perhaps it believes itself still in the Fade. There is evidence to believe this so. A Shade will weaken the living by its very proximity. If it focuses its will, it can drain a single target very quickly. Some have even been known to assault the minds of a living victim, causing confusion or horror and making the target ripe for the kill. The tragedy of a Shade is perhaps that once it has drained a target whole, its appetite is only heightened rather than slaked. And this is from the journal of former senior enchanter Melius, one of the Circle of Ravain, declared apostate in 920 Dragon Age. Alright. We also met some Genlocks, which were some Darkspawn. These are the most common Darkspawn in the underground. Stocky and tough, Genlocks are notoriously difficult to kill, even by magic. So I feel like they're the Darkspawn version of a dwarf. Hurlock. Taller than their Genlock cousins, the Hurlocks are roughly of human size, but are possessed of considerable strength and constitution. The shock troop of the Darkspawn, a single berserking Hurlock, can often be a match for numerous opponents at once. They are known to adorn themselves with roughly carved tattoos to keep track of their kills and deeds, though it is unknown whether or not there is a uniform standard to these markings. Alphas. We saw some alphas, their names were yellow, which means they're a little bit higher ranking. Alpha Hurlocks are more intelligent and more skilled fighters, often serving as commanders or even generals. Emissaries, and those are the mages. Hurlock emissaries have also been known to appear during a blight. These Darkspawn are the only ones recorded as being capable of human speech, and are often capable of employing magic. Alright, so I feel like a Hurlock is kind of like the human equivalent of a Darkspawn. Mobari Warhound. This is the dog that we were helping out in the last video. Dogs are an essential part of Ferelden culture, and no dog is more prized than the Mobari. The breed is as old as myth, said to have been bred from the wolves who served Dane. Prized for their intelligence and loyalty, these dogs are more than mere weapons or status symbols. The hounds choose their masters and pair with them for life. To be the master of a Mobari anywhere in Ferelden is to be recognized instantly as a person of worth. The Mobari are an essential part of the Ferelden military strategy. Trained hounds can easily pull knights from horseback or break lines of pikemen, and the sight and sound of a wave of war dogs, howling and snarling, has been known to cause panic among even the most hardened infantry soldiers. Alright. Magic and religion. We've already read about Aonar. Let's go to the Tranquil. Didn't we already read about this? I could have sworn we already read about the Tranquil, and I'm confused. I'm confused why it says that we haven't read it yet, but we did in the last Codex video, I'm sure. I think we've read about all of these things already in previous Codex videos. I'm just hoping that it recorded it right. Alright, let's move on to history and culture. Ostagar. Pretty sure we read about Ostagar already as well. Well, let's read it again just in case, I guess. Alright, representing the furthest point of encroachment. So, sorry, Ostagar is the ruins we're at right now. Representing the furthest point of encroachment by the ancient Tevinter Imperium into the barbarian lands of the southeast, the fortress of Ostagar was once one of the most important defensive holdings south of the Waking Sea. It stood at the edge of the Kokari Wilds, watching for any signs of invasion by the barbarians known today as the Chastened Wilders. Maybe we didn't read this. Straddling a narrow pass in the hills, the fortress needed to be bypassed to reach the fertile lowlands of the north and proved to be exceedingly difficult for the Wilders to attack because of its naturally defensible position. Like most imperial holdings in the south, Ostagar was abandoned after Tevinter's collapse during the First Blight. It was successfully sacked by the Chastened Wilders, and then, as the Chastened threat dwindled, following the creation of the modern Ferelden nation, fell to ruin completely. It has remained unmanned for 4 centuries, though most of the walls still stand, as does the tall tower of Ishal, named after the great archon that ordered its construction. Ostagar remains a testament to the magical power of the Imperium that created it. And this is from Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Characters, Alistair. So Alistair is the new, he's not as new as we are. He's not a recruit. He's already inducted into the Grey Wardens, but he's like a junior member, and he's been helping us explore the wilds to get what we need for the joining. Alistair. You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Alistair was a novice Templar when Duncan recruited him into the Grey Wardens, or rescued him, as Alistair would say. Alright, let's go to Morrigan. She's the Witch of the Wilds that we met, who took us to her mother, who gave us the archives. Witch of the Wilds? Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? Of herself, Morrigan says little. She does not deny being a Witch of the Wilds, but beyond that, everything about her is in question. So she's an apostate mage who's never been to the circle for proper training, and she's been living out on her own with her magic. Alright, and then we have controls that you're probably not interested in, because it has to do with gameplay and not with the lore. So yeah, that's a pretty short Codex video for this episode, surprisingly. I think because a lot of the codexes we found were quest related, and we read those in-game. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. If you're interested in lore, it's really cool to learn about this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Bye.